And good evening, everyone. Neighbors say it's a scary development. They want to know how registered sex offenders can be allowed to run a haunted house that attracts kids. It opens on Halloween in Lockport, where News 4's Ed Dranch is live for you tonight. Ed?
Don, Lockport police say they know what's going on here. 2 registered sex offenders running a haunted house on Halloween. But tonight we're told what they're doing is completely legal, even though children could be coming through. These men, 39-year-old Jeffrey Lewinsky and 62-year-old Alfred DeVoe, are looking to make sure Halloween in Lockport is full of spooks. But it's their past that's just as haunting. Both are registered sex offenders running a haunted house.
I have no comment on that aspect.
Okay, yet you're running a haunted house for children to come in and tour. So you're a sex offender. You can understand why somebody would be worried about that.
I have no comment in that regard.
DeVoe's relative, who doesn't want to be identified, says the community should beware. He says these 2 convicted sex offenders cannot be trusted.
They're going to be in a enclosed area walking through with these kids, and I wouldn't trust what either one of them to touch these kids.
But DeVoe told us he's no longer participating, although the haunted house's website still says differently. From what I understand, you are part of this haunted house.
I was, but as of today, I've resigned.
Why did you resign today?
Because I don't need the hassle. I've been on this thing for 10 years, not the haunt, but registry. I've had no problems, and I don't need no problems.
But what they're doing is completely legal. Lockport police say unless a sex offender is on probation or parole, which these 2 guys are not, New York State is allowing them to live life normally, even running a business with no conditions, even if it involves children. You obviously are going to have children passing through on your property. What do you expect people to think?
I'm locking the front door, nobody can get in.
Here at Lockport Police Headquarters, they say they've already received numerous complaints about this one house in particular and say they will be stepping up their patrols on Halloween, which is Monday. Now, they also say it's important for you to know where you're going, especially if you're going trick-or-treating or to haunted houses. So if you want to check out the sex offender registry, you could do so by logging on to our website, WIVB.com. Reporting live in Lockport tonight, I'm Ed Dranch, News 4 at 10.
Turning now to a story you saw first on 4. A News 4 viewer tipped us off to a haunted house set up for trick-or-treaters by 2 registered sex offenders living on Washburn Street in Lockport.
Neighbors want to know how these known sex offenders can be allowed to run an attraction that is likely to bring in children. That's what News 4's Ed Dranch is asking for you. He broke the exclusive story last night. Today he followed through with law enforcement.
And Jackie, that's the answer to the question. The answer to the question, rather, has many people frustrated, including neighbors on Washburn Street and the Niagara County District Attorney's Office. Tonight we're told it lies in technicalities. Because neither Alfred DeVoe nor Jeffrey Lewinsky are on probation or parole, Elizabeth Donatello, the district attorney for special victims in Niagara County, says they are able to run the haunted house even though children could be in harm's way. The assistant DA says there is no law stopping them from not only running the haunted house, but they could also even work at a place like Chuck E. Cheese. Donatello says it's up to New York State to create a law and up to parents to be aware of where their kids are going on Halloween.
We would love to be able to put a stop to the conduct. If there was a law, we would love to be able to protect people from sex offenders who engage in employment that put them in direct contact with young children.
Lockport police told us they'll be stepping up patrols, even making unannounced visits to the haunted house on Washburn Street. Niagara County prosecutors say it's important to know if there's a sex offender in your community. And for more on that, you can log on to WIVB.com. Live in the newsroom, I'm Ed Dranch, News 4 at 5.
There will be no night terrors this Halloween in Lockport. Tonight, the owner of a haunted house on Washburn Street told News 4 that he decided to shut it down. The decision comes less than 24 hours after we first told you the attraction was run in part by 2 convicted sex offenders. As News 4's Ed Dranch reports, police had no legal power to stop them from inviting children inside.
It's said if you build it, they will come. That's the problem for Lockport Police Chief Larry Eggert. A haunted house is being created on Washburn Street at the same house where these 2 men both live, and both are convicted sex offenders.
Got opinions from the state as well as the county, people at the county level, and they all say there's nothing we can do to stop it.
Despite their sex offender status and the community concern, there's not much police can actually do. Eggert and Niagara County Assistant District Attorney Elizabeth Donatello note because neither of these offenders are on probation or parole, New York State allows each to live normal lives with no conditions, even if children are involved.
There's no law in the books in New York State that would prevent them from not only running a haunted house, but, for example, working at a place like, say, Chuck E. Cheese. There's nothing that prohibits them from doing that.
While Jeffrey Lewinsky says he simply enjoys haunted houses, he's certainly aware of loopholes in the law.
No comment on that aspect.
Okay, yet you're running a haunted house for children to come in and tour. So you're a sex offender. You can understand why somebody would be worried about that.
I have no comment in that regard.
I wish we had the tools to do more than we are, but I'm limited by the law as to what we can and can't do.
Edge Ranch, News 4 at 11.